After months of rule changes, new deadlines, letters that cost you money, and nothing but bad news, I want to do something different today. Because starting this July, there are 3 separate amounts of money with your name on them. 3 pieces of genuinely good news landing this summer. One of them hits your account automatically. You do not lift a finger. One is a quiet 25% raise on a payment you may already be receiving. And the third could save you thousands of dollars on a bill most seniors just grit their teeth and pay every single year. And here's what bothers me about all 3. Most people are going to miss at least one of them. Not because they do not qualify, not because someone took it away, but simply because nobody sat them down and explained it in plain words. That is what the next 14 minutes are for. 3 pieces of good news in plain English. What each one is, how much money we are actually talking about, and exactly what you do, or do not have to do, to make sure each one finds you this July. And there is a thread running through all 3 that I want you to catch by the end. Because once you see it, the whole thing becomes simple. Subscribe right now and hit the bell. This kind of practical good news gets buried under the rule changes and the deadline alerts. And most people find out about each item on this list years after they could have been receiving it. Subscribe now. Let's get into the 3. Hook number 2. And this sets up everything. Here's what most Canadian seniors do not know about OAS. It does not just change once a year. It is reviewed 4 separate times, every January, April, July, and October, and adjusted to keep pace with the cost of living as measured by the Consumer Price Index. That is the law. So when prices rise, your OAS rises with them, on a schedule, automatically. For the July to September 2026 quarter, OAS is going up by 1.2%. The maximum monthly OAS for seniors aged 65 to 74 rises to approximately $752. For seniors 75 and older, it rises to approximately $827. Over the past year, OAS has climbed more than 2% year over year. Each quarterly bump stacks on top of the last. It is a staircase, not a one-time step, and it climbs for the rest of your life. Tell me in the comments right now, did you know that OAS is adjusted 4 separate times per year, every year, automatically, not just once at tax time? Yes or no? Drop your province below. Now here's the first piece of good news, and it is the only one of the 3 that requires absolutely nothing from you. If you are already receiving OAS, the new higher amount simply shows up in your July 29th deposit. You do not apply, you do not call, you do not fill out a form. The 1.2% increase arrives whether or not you do a single thing. That is it. That is the whole story for this one. Open your bank account on July 29th and confirm the new higher number is there. And 2 quieter pieces of good news are riding along with that same July adjustment, and almost nobody connects them. The first is for the lowest income seniors. If you receive the guaranteed income supplement on top of your OAS, that payment is also recalculated every single July based on the income from your most recent tax return. For people on a modest and steady income whose 2025 earnings were similar to 2024, that recalculation holds your supplement steady or nudges it up. More money arriving quietly in the same month with no action required. The second is for those of you who worry about the OAS clawback, the recovery tax that pulls some OAS back from higher income seniors. Here's the good news on that front. The income threshold where the clawback begins is itself raised every year to keep pace with inflation. That threshold for 2026 is $93,454. A quarterly increase like this one generally will not be the thing that tips you over the line, because the line moves up right along with the increase, which means for the vast majority of seniors, this raise is simply yours to keep. So that is the first piece of good news. Automatic, no form, no phone call, just a slightly higher deposit on July 29th. Now here's the second piece, and this one is a real raise. If you have ever received the GST and HST credit, that quarterly tax-free payment that lands in your account 4 times a year to help with the cost of living, listen closely, because starting July 3rd, 2026, it is changing, and it is changing in your favor. The old GST and HST credit is being replaced by a brand new benefit called the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit. Same idea, a tax-free payment several times a year, but with one very significant difference. The amounts are going up by 25%, not a one-time bump, a 25% increase that is built to continue growing every year through the end of the decade. Let me put real numbers on that because this is where it gets good. Under the old credit, a single senior could receive up to approximately $533 per year. Under the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit, that maximum rises to $679 per year. For a senior couple, the maximum climbs from around $698 to $890 per year. That is over $150 more every year for the same people who were already receiving it, simply because the program changed its name and its math in your favor. And there was even a one-time top-up payment sent out at the start of June to bridge the gap before the new quarterly cycle kicked in. Roughly half of your annual credit arriving as a bonus payment. 2 questions I know you're already asking. First, do you have to reapply because the name changed? No, you fill out nothing. If you were receiving the GST credit, you roll straight into the new Groceries and Essentials benefit automatically at the higher amount. Second, who actually qualifies? It is aimed at low and modest income Canadians. A great many seniors living mainly on OAS, GIS, and a modest pension fall right inside it. Picture a retired couple getting by on their pensions. Under the old rules, somewhere near $700 across the year. Now closer to $900. Almost $200 more for doing absolutely nothing different. except one thing, and here is the catch. And it is the same catch that controls the third piece of good news too, so remember it. This money is automatic, but only if the government has your 2025 tax return on file. They calculate what you receive from the income on that return. No return, no calculation, no payment, no matter how much you qualify for. File, and it flows to you on its own. Do not file, and the most generous version of this benefit in years sails right past you. Now the third piece of good news, and for a lot of people watching this is the biggest one, because it is the one that can save you the most money by far: dental care. For years, the cost of the dentist is the thing I hear seniors quietly dread the most. The cleaning they skip, the denture they put off, the tooth they just live with because the bill is frightening. And here's what changed, and what most people still do not know. The Canadian Dental Care Plan, which used to roll out in pieces to different age groups over time, is now open for the 2026 to 2027 benefit year to every eligible Canadian, including every senior who fits the rules. And the rules are simpler than you would think. If your adjusted family net income is under $90,000 per year and you do not already have private dental insurance, you can be covered. The amount it covers depends on your income in plain tiers. If your family income is under $70,000, the plan covers 100% of the agreed dental fees: cleanings, checkups, fillings, extractions, dentures. The things seniors actually need. Between $70,000 and $80,000, it covers 60%. Between $80,000 and $90,000, 40%. Let me be specific about what is actually covered, because dental plan can sound vague. We are talking about the real everyday things: examinations and x-rays, cleanings and scaling that keep your gums healthy, fillings, extractions when a tooth has to come out, root canals, and the one that matters most for so many seniors, dentures, both full and partial. A full set of dentures on your own can run well over $1,000, sometimes far more. For a senior whose family income is under $70,000, the plan covers the agreed fee in full. That is the difference between living with a problem for years and getting it fixed this year. One honest note so you are not caught off guard: the plan pays based on an established fee schedule. Depending on what your dentist charges, there can sometimes be a small gap you cover yourself. But for the people this is built for, it turns a frightening bill into a manageable one, or no bill at all. How do you actually get it? You apply through the Government of Canada. You can do it online at canada.ca or by phone through Service Canada. They confirm your details. If you qualify, they send you a welcome package and a coverage card to take to your dentist. And here is that thread again, the one I told you to remember. To apply and be approved, you need to have filed your 2025 tax return, because that return is how they confirm your income falls under the limit. There it is a second time. Now here is the part most coverage of this good news does not explain, and this is what ties everything together. Two of your three pieces of good news, the bigger grocery payment and the free or reduced dental coverage, both depend on one single action: your 2025 tax return being filed with the CRA. That one piece of paper is the master key. It is the thing that quietly switches on more money in your grocery benefit and a covered trip to the dentist all at once. And every single year, people who absolutely qualified for both miss out on both. Not because they earned too much, not because they were turned down, but simply because they did not file a return. Often because their income was low enough that they figured there was no point in filing. If that is you or someone you love, please hear this. With these benefits, filing is not about what you owe. It is the doorway the money comes through. No return and the door stays shut. If money is tight or filing feels overwhelming, there are free tax clinics across the country that will do it for you at no charge. The CRA's Community Volunteer Income Tax Program connects low-income and senior Canadians with trained volunteers who prepare and file returns completely free. Call the CRA at 1-800-959-8281 and ask where the nearest free clinic is. That one phone call could unlock both the grocery benefit and the dental coverage in the same week. And here is one more quiet thing worth knowing: a fourth place to look, because it is the same kind of overlooked money. Beyond these federal programs, almost every province has its own credits for seniors that go badly underclaimed. Property tax and energy credits in particular. In Ontario, there is a senior homeowner's property tax grant worth up to $500 per year. British Columbia lets eligible seniors defer their property taxes entirely, pushing the bill down the road so it is not draining your monthly budget today. Quebec has its own senior assistance and home support credits. Manitoba and other provinces run their own school tax and property tax rebates for seniors. The specifics change at every provincial border, and that is exactly why this money goes unclaimed. There is no single national letter that tells you about your province's version. Search your province's name plus the words senior property tax credit, or call your provincial seniors information line. There is a very good chance there are a few hundred more dollars sitting there with your name on them that nobody ever mailed you a reminder about. Did you know that the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit launched July 3rd with a 25% increase over the old GST credit, and that both this benefit and the Canadian Dental Care Plan coverage are unlocked by the same single action of filing your 2025 tax return? Drop your answer below right now. I want to know how many people watching this had no idea one piece of paper controlled access to two separate money programs at the same time. Here is your July checklist. Write these down. First, If you already receive OAS, you do not need to do anything for the July increase, but do open your July 29th deposit and confirm the new higher amount actually landed. For ages 65 to 74, you are looking for approximately $752. For ages 75 and over, approximately $827. If the increase did not appear, call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 and ask them to confirm your account is updated for the July quarter. Second, if you have not yet filed your 2025 tax return, that is the single most important thing on this list. File it even if your income is low, even if you owe nothing, because it is the key that unlocks your bigger grocery benefit and your dental coverage both. Call the CRA at 1-800-959-8281 to find a free tax clinic near you if you need help filing. Third, apply for the Canadian Dental Care Plan. You can do it at canada.ca or by calling Service Canada. Once you are covered, book the cleaning or the work you have been putting off. Do not let another benefit year pass without using what is now available to you. Fourth, search your province's senior property tax and energy credits and claim what is yours. One phone call, one search. That is it. One more thing before we close. No program on this list requires you to pay anyone a fee to access it. Nobody is going to call you and offer to unlock your dental coverage or your grocery benefit in exchange for your banking information. If you receive any contact like that, hang up immediately. Real benefit applications happen through canada.ca or by calling Service Canada directly at 1-800-277-9914 or the CRA at 1-800-959-8281. They do not call you first with urgent offers. What surprised you most in this video? Was it that OAS is reviewed 4 separate times per year and climbs like a staircase for the rest of your life? That the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit increased 25% and rolls over automatically from the old GST credit? Or that the Canadian Dental Care Plan now covers full dentures and cleanings for seniors with family income under $70,000 with no bill at all? Drop your answer in your province in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, hit the like button right now. 1 second. It is the only way this reaches the next senior who is about to miss all 3 of these simply because nobody sat them down and explained what was theirs. The increase is automatic. The bigger grocery payment and the free dental are 1 filed tax return away, and the provincial credits are 1 phone call away. None of this is charity, none of it is luck. Every single one of these was set aside for seniors exactly like you. You just had to know it existed and reach out and take it. The only thing standing between you and all 3 is knowing, and now you know. I am Henry Jaden. Take care of yourself.